Hello, Gemini, and welcome. I'm Adriana, and today I have an intuitive reading for you for your journey. This is for Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising. I will also be making an extended version for you, extended video, that will go deeper into what comes up and also bring up any more information that wants to come through. So we're going to look at the Divine Animal Oracle deck first, see what message comes out. Okay, we've got Butterfly and Jaguar. Wow, these are really powerful cards to appear together. This is a big message to release and detoxify. Release physically, release spiritually, release emotionally, anything that is toxic to you. This is a deep release, almost like a deep kind of giving birth of a new self of yours. And to do that, you have to get rid of all of the junk that's surrounding you. The butterfly tells us that you're in a process of transformation right now, a process of change, and that, your soul wants you to move through things not so lightly, to really let go. When you're going to let go, really let go, okay? When you're going to move on, really move on. This isn't about just trying to do it. This is about really doing it so that it becomes part of you, part of your true self. Okay, let's see where Gemini is right now. I'm going to look at the situation and what might be possibly blocking you in that situation. Okay, so 6 of Swords, moving on, healing, 7 of Swords, doing a lot of analyzing of that healing. There's a lot of, it's an interesting combination, those two cards, because on one hand, we've got the kind of heart process, like this, it's more of an instinctive, intuitive process of moving on, and then a highly rational analysis going on with the 7 of Swords. So you've got both of that going on at once, kind of like, I know I need to move on, I don't really know what that means, and then something very intense mental processing. I need to figure out exactly what that means and where we're going. Really trying to separate things out where it may not be the time to separate things out. It may just be about flow and release, these two cards here. Just letting it flow out with having to analyze everything that it means. Okay. All right. What is the situation, please? The 7 of Wands, High Priestess, and the Strength card. Okay. Oh boy. So Gemini, you're blocking your own intuition here, and you're blocking what your heart is trying to tell you. Okay. You're blocking all of that. And you're finding yourself holding your ground, but what you're holding your ground against is yourself. Okay. 2 7s showing up, 7 of Swords and 7 of Wands. So you've got yourself involved in, I was just checking the other cards to see if there were 7s as well. So you've got yourself involved in this internal struggle where you're not listening to your inner voice, you're not listening to your heart. And you're just holding it at bay. So the 6 of Swords is really talking about coming back in touch with your heart, coming back in touch with that wisdom, because right now the mind is a bit unmoored. It doesn't know how to think, it doesn't know how to process, because you're missing that other part of your mind, which is intuitive and in a sense irrational. Okay, so this is about really getting quiet and listening to that little voice. I want to know why you're blocking it. 10 of Pentacles and 5 of Wands. Can you clarify 10 of Pentacles for me, please? Ace of Swords and the 4. Okay, so we're looking at family, but a new direction. Is it like trying to create a new direction with your family, or trying to create a literally new family? In the process of doing that, you're kind of struggling to stay connected to your heart and to your intuition. Okay, There's also a lot of, okay, I'm going to back up from that because that was off. So in these cards, there's a feeling of weariness that comes with trying to figure everything out through your mind. Okay, there's a tiredness that happens if you've ever just gotten all of a sudden really tired and you just have to stop what you're doing and go to bed. It might be because you're not using enough of your senses. You're not using enough of your other faculties, like listening to your intuition, listening to your little voice. And so what happens is the mind gets so tired, it gets so overwhelmed that it has to shut down. I had this experience. I was a physics major in college, and I remember reading about this top woman physicist, and that was kind of rare at the time because most physicists tend to be men. Anyway, they talked about, and it was actually someone else writing about her, talking about how she always follows her nose, how she always follows her instinct. And that following of her instinct or her intuition then leads to the mental process stepping in, the mind stepping in. And I believe Einstein said the same thing. Intuition and imagination come first. The rational mind is a servant of, I believe he said, the imagination, but it may have been the intuition. But the point is that it's not the other way around. It's not rational before intuition. It's actually intuition first, and then your rational mind comes in. But right now, you're just cutting it off completely because of, what you're trying to build, this new direction that you're trying to go here, this new foundation that you're trying to lay. But you can't lay this foundation unless you have all the parts of you, unless you have your intuition and your heart speaking to you as well. Okay, let's get a message for what your soul is teaching you with all of this. What is your soul wanting to communicate with you about this, Gemini? Eight of Pentacles, King of Cups, he keeps coming up, Serenus, and the Five of Pentacles. Okay. This is an interesting lesson in the wrong choices in a relationship leading to isolation and aloneness. A relationship where you're supposed to be with someone. Making the wrong choices in that space can lead to this Five of Pentacles situation where you have nothing, you feel alone. And, on the earthly plane, it's talking about financial hardship. I don't want to go there in this reading because I feel like the message is bigger. It's higher than just that. It's the poverty of being cut off from the self, the poverty of making choices that leave you bereft. And what's interesting is she's left her truth behind. Her color, the color of the throat chakra is blue, and she's left her truth back there. And we've got a lot of blue on this butterfly card. So in leaving her truth behind her, she's lost everything. She feels like she's got nothing left. And intuition is your truth, Gemini. That is the thing that you need to be listening to first and not just discarding. Okay. So I'm going to look a little bit more at this in the extended. We'll go into some ways that you can reverse this process and start to open up to that heart and truth again. And if this is resonating with you, please follow me over. The link's in the description below. See you soon.